Before Google, before calculators, before computers, before any of the technology that runs your world today, there was one man, a scholar born in the deserts of Central Asia, in an age when the world was still trying to make sense of numbers, a man whose name you may never have spoken aloud, but whose ideas you have used every single day of your life. His name was Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi, and without him, the modern world would simply not exist. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will completely change the way you see mathematics, history, and the human mind. Welcome back to Numbers and Narratives by Bless Wright, the channel where we don't just teach you mathematics and history, we make you feel them. Today we are stepping back over 12 centuries into the golden halls of Baghdad, akin to the greatest library the ancient world had ever seen, to meet a man history almost forgot. A man who, with nothing but ink, parchment, and a burning desire to bring order to chaos, gave birth to one of the most powerful intellectual tools humanity has ever wielded. If this is your first time here, welcome home. Hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell, because every story we tell on this channel is one you won't find in any textbook. And if you've been here before, you already know we go deep. Now, one more thing before we begin. Stay until the very end of this video. I'm not saying that just to keep your attention. There is a striking detail about al-Khwarizmi, something most historians gloss over, that will absolutely astonish you. You will not see it coming, so do not skip ahead. Trust the story. Let's go. The year is approximately 780 CE. The place, Khwarazm, a region in what is today Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, in the heart of Central Asia. The Abbasid Caliphate stretches from the shores of the Atlantic in the west to the edges of the Indian subcontinent in the east. It is, without exaggeration, the most powerful civilization on earth, and at the heart of it all sits Baghdad, a city so magnificent, so breathtakingly alive with human energy, that travelers from every corner of the known world arrived at its gates and wept. Built in 762 CE under Caliph Al-Mansur, Baghdad was designed as a perfect circle, a city of symmetry and order, and it would grow to become a city of roughly 1 million people. 1 million. At a time when London had a population of perhaps 20,000. Into this electric world, Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi was born. We do not know the exact year of his birth. We do not know the exact year of his death. History has been cruel in that way. But what we do know is this. He lived, he thought, and he changed everything. His name tells a story. Al-Khwarizmi simply means the man from Khwarazm, a geographical surname, common in the Islamic world. His full name, Muhammad ibn Musa, tells us his father was Musa. He was Muslim, he was Persian by heritage, and he was destined to become something the world had never seen before. A mathematician who could see the invisible architecture hiding inside every problem. Imagine a building, not just any building. Imagine a place where the greatest minds of the known world gathered every single day, not to pray, not to trade, not to wage war, but to think, to read, watch to translate, to discover. This was Beit al-Hikmah, the house of wisdom, and al-Khwarizmi lived and worked there. Founded by the Caliph Harun al-Rashid and expanded spectacularly by his son al-Ma'mun in the early 9th century, the House of Wisdom was the most important intellectual institution in the medieval world. Scholars came from Persia, India, Greece, carrying texts in Syriac, Sanskrit, Greek, and Persian, and they translated everything: Aristotle, Euclid, Ptolemy, Indian mathematical treatises, Persian astronomical tables. It was the internet of its age, but better, because the people connecting ideas were not algorithms. They were some of the most brilliant human beings who ever lived. Al-Khwarizmi was among them. Under the patronage of Caliph Al-Ma'mun, a ruler who believed, with extraordinary conviction, that knowledge was power, Al-Khwarizmi flourished. He was given resources, he was given time, he was given freedom to think, and he used every moment of it. He would go on to write works that shaped astronomy, geography, and arithmetic. But it was one particular work that would split history in two, before and after. Around 820 CE, al-Khwarizmi sat down and wrote a book. Its full Arabic title was Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasar fi hisab al-Jabr wal-Muqabala. In English, the compendious book on calculation by completion and balancing. It doesn't sound dramatic, but what was inside it was nothing less than revolutionary. This book, this single slim volume, gave the world algebra, not just as a concept, as a system, a formal, structured, universal language of mathematical reasoning that could be applied to any problem. Commercial transactions, inheritance disputes, land surveying, architecture, astronomy. Al-Khwarizmi was not playing an abstract intellectual game. He was solving real problems for real people in a real world, and the method he used was breathtaking in its elegance. He introduced the concept of reducing and balancing equations, what we now call solving for the unknown. He described 6 types of quadratic and linear equations and gave systematic, step-by-step methods for solving each one. He used no symbols. His algebra was written entirely in words, but the logic was flawless. The structure was airtight, and the most important thing, he proved his solutions geometrically. He showed why they worked. Not just that they worked. That intellectual honesty, that desire to explain rather than merely assert, is the mark of a true scientist. Now, do you see the word hiding in that Arabic title? Algebra, completion, balancing, algebra. Say it slowly, algebra. That word carried from 9th century Baghdad across the Silk Road, through medieval Spain, translated into Latin, spoken by European scholars for centuries, eventually became the English word algebra. The word itself is a monument to the man who created the discipline. Now here is where the story gets even more extraordinary. In the 12th century, European scholars began translating Al-Khwarizmi's works from Arabic into Latin. One translation, based on his landmark arithmetic text, likely titled something like Kitab al-Jam wal Tafriq bil Hisab al-Hindi, the book of addition and subtraction according to the Hindu calculation, began with the words Dixit al-Khwarizmi, meaning, thus spoke al-Khwarizmi. European scholars began referring to the systematic step-by-step methods he described as algorithmus. The name of the man became the name of the method, algorithmus, algorithmi, al-Khwarizmi. Today we call those methods algorithms. Every algorithm running on every computer, every phone, every satellite, every artificial intelligence system in the world today bears in its very name the echo of a scholar from Khwarazm who lived over 12 centuries ago. Let that land for a moment. When programmers write code, when your GPS calculates a route, when YouTube recommends the next video, when a doctor's diagnostic software flags an anomaly, when a bank detects fraud in real time, these are all algorithms. And algorithms are named, literally named, after Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. He didn't just give us algebra, he gave us the very concept of computational thinking. But wait, we are not done yet. Before al-Khwarizmi's era, Europe was drowning in Roman numerals. Try multiplying 247 by 1113 using Roman numeral arithmetic. It is a nightmare, slow, cumbersome, almost impossible for large calculations. Al-Khwarizmi wrote a treatise introducing the Hindu positional decimal system to the Islamic world and, through subsequent translations, to Europe. This was the number system developed in India, using the digits 0 through 9, with their value determined by their position, the 0, the 1, the 2, all the way to 9. Al-Khwarizmi didn't invent these digits. They originated with Indian mathematicians, particularly the Brahmi numerals developed over centuries. What he did was champion them, explain them, systematize them, and transmit them with crystal clarity to the wider world. His Latin translations introduced these numerals to European scholars who slowly, over centuries, replaced Roman numerals with them. Those numbers are today called the Hindu-Arabic numeral system, and every number you have ever written, every phone number, every bank account, every price tag, every date, every calculation, uses the system that Al-Khwarizmi helped spread across the world. Think about that the next time you write the number 7. Well, mathematics was only one dimension of this man's genius. Al-Khwarizmi also produced one of the most significant geographical works of the medieval world. His Kitab Surat al-Ard, the Book of the Image of the Earth, was a comprehensive revision of Ptolemy's 2nd century geography. Working with a team of 69 geographers under the patronage of Caliph Al-Ma'mun, al-Khwarizmi corrected and expanded upon Ptolemy's data, providing coordinates for thousands of cities, rivers, mountains, coastlines, and islands. He calculated the circumference of the Earth. He helped produce one of the first world maps of the Islamic Golden Age. His geographical coordinates were more accurate for many regions than anything Ptolemy had produced. He also wrote extensively on astronomy, producing astronomical tables known as Zij that track the movements of the sun, moon, and planets. His astronomical work was translated into Latin in the 12th century and remained in use in European universities for centuries. This was not a narrow specialist. This was a universal mind, a man who looked at the entire scope of human knowledge and said, "I can improve this. I can bring order to this chaos. I can make this useful." Centuries after his death, the full weight of what al-Khwarizmi had done began to be understood. In the 12th century, scholars in Toledo, Spain, one of the great centers of translation in medieval Europe, began working through Arabic texts and rendering them into Latin. Gerard of Cremona, one of the most prolific translators of the age, he translated works heavily influenced by al-Khwarizmi's tradition. Robert of Chester translated al-Khwarizmi's Algebra into Latin in 1145 CE. That translation gave European scholars their first systematic exposure to algebra. From there, the ripple became a wave. Renaissance mathematicians built on it. Descartes, Newton, Leibniz, all of them standing in part on a foundation that al-Khwarizmi had laid. The scientific revolution that would transform Europe in the 16th and 17th centuries had roots that stretched back to a 9th century scholar in Baghdad. Today, his name is immortalized in at least 2 words used by billions of people every day: algebra and algorithm. His image appears on Soviet-era postage stamps issued in 1983 to honor the 1,200th anniversary of his birth. A crater on the moon bears his name. The Khwarizmi International Award, one of the most prestigious scientific prizes in the Islamic world, is named after him. But perhaps the most profound tribute is this: every time a student anywhere in the world sits down to solve for X, every time an engineer writes a line of code, every time a doctor uses a diagnostic algorithm, they are, without knowing it, carrying forward the work of Muhammad ibn Musa, al-Khwarizmi. I promised you something at the beginning. I promised you a striking detail, something that most people, even educated people, even historians, gloss over or miss entirely. Here it is. Al-Khwarizmi did not write his algebra book for mathematicians. Read that again. Al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra, did not write his landmark treatise for scholars, academics, or intellectual elites. He wrote it for ordinary people. In the very opening lines of Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasar fi Hisab al-Jabr wal-Muqabala, al-Khwarizmi explicitly states his purpose. He wrote, and I am paraphrasing from the Arabic, that he wanted to teach what is easiest and most useful in arithmetic, such as men constantly require in cases of inheritance, legacies, partition, lawsuits, and trade, and in all their dealings with one another, or where the measuring of lands, the digging of canals, geometrical computations, and other objects of various sorts and kinds are concerned. Inheritance, trade, land measurement, lawsuits, canal digging. He was writing for the farmer trying to divide his land fairly among his children, for the merchant trying to calculate profit and loss, for the judge trying to distribute an estate equitably under Islamic law, so for the architect trying to design a building that wouldn't collapse. The most consequential mathematical text in history was written not for the elite, but for the everyday person. It was at its heart a practical guidebook, a tool for living. Al-Khwarizmi believed mathematics was not an ornament for the privileged mind. He believed it was a light that should reach everyone. And isn't that extraordinary? The man who invented algebra, the subject that millions of students dread, that many consider abstract and impractical, conceived of it as the most practical, most human, most accessible form of problem-solving imaginable. He invented it so that no one would be cheated, so that no widow would lose her inheritance, so that no farmer would be swindled out of his land, so that justice could be calculated with precision. Algebra, at its birth, was an act of compassion. There is something profoundly moving about the life of al-Khwarizmi. He was born into a world that was already ancient. He lived in a city that blazed like a sun, and then, within a few centuries of his death, that city would be reduced to ash by the Mongol invasion of 1258. The House of Wisdom, that sacred cathedral of human thought, was burned. Its books were thrown into the Tigris River, and historians say the river ran black with ink. The civilization that produced al-Khwarizmi was shattered, and yet his ideas survived, carried across the Mediterranean in the saddlebags of scholars, copied by monks in cold scriptoria, whispered between translators in the bilingual alleys of Toledo and Palermo. His ideas crossed borders that armies could not. They outlasted empires. They outlasted the very civilization that gave birth to them, because good ideas cannot be burned. Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi never became a household name in the Western world. He didn't get the statues in city squares. He didn't get his face on the currency. For centuries, the world that most benefited from his ideas had no idea who had given them. European scholars used his algebra, breathed his algorithmic thinking, lived inside the numerical system he had championed, and forgot to remember the man behind it all. But history has a long memory. And today, finally, his name is being spoken again. In universities, in documentaries, in conversations like this one. And perhaps that is the most powerful thing of all. That a man who dedicated his life to making knowledge accessible, who wanted ordinary people to have the tools to seek justice and build their world, is now, 12 centuries later, finally being given his due. Not because he demanded recognition, but because the truth has a way of rising. And that is the story of al-Khwarizmi, the man from Khwarazm who with ink and intellect cracked open the universe of numbers and handed us the keys. Next time you sit down to solve an equation, know that you are participating in a tradition over 12 centuries old. Next time your phone uses GPS, know that the concept of algorithmic routing bears the fingerprint of a medieval scholar from Central Asia. Next time you look at the number 0, that quiet, revolutionary digit, think of the intellectual chain that carried it from India to Baghdad, to Europe, to your screen. Numbers have narratives, and behind every great system of thought, there is a human being full of curiosity and fire who decided the world could be better understood. Al-Khwarizmi decided that, and the world was never the same. If this story moved you, share it. Subscribe to Numbers and Narratives by Bless Wright and join a community that believes every number has a story and every story deserves to be told. Like, comment, subscribe, share the knowledge.